Hey everyone, Joe here, TTA Performance again, and it is beginning of January 2020. Happy New Year. And what better way to celebrate January in Wisconsin than to take out my personal 81 Turbo Trans Am and go take it to the dyno. Yes, there's snow on the ground. Don't worry, the roads are dry. Yeah, they salted, but the roads are dry. I don't care, it's fine. Car's from Texas. It doesn't have rust. It's not gonna rust from a couple little pellets on the street. So I'm gonna go over and show you all this, and then we're gonna head over to dyno. We're gonna see what it does. Let's check it out. Okay, here it is in all its glory. 1981 Turbo Trans Am Special Edition SE, or as everyone likes to call it, the Bandit car. This car was bought and sold new in Texas. It's originally supposed to be just a regular WS4 Trans Am. It is not a WS6 car. Originally it came with 7-inch snowflake wheels in gold, but the previous owner put 1980 8-inch wide turbo wheels on it, which I prefer those anyway. And it's slowly getting WS6 components put on it. It does have WS6 springs on the front right now. I have rear leafs for it too, and eventually it'll, get to that point. So, taking a look at it real quick. Yes, the numbers on the window is because I do drag race it. So we got a couple custom things going on the interior. You can see she's a little ratty, but I don't care. So one of the first modifications, obviously, is what I've been selling, is converting the clock to a boost gauge, and then you see right below the boost gauge is the little blue light for the water injection. And you've probably seen that in a couple of my other videos. I think I actually showed those. So what's going on in the middle here, though? That is an AEM wideband air-fuel ratio gauge. I got rid of the coolant temp and oil pressure gauge and replaced it with this air-fuel ratio gauge, which is pretty nice. It's got a wideband oxygen sensor mounted in the downpipe, and I like that staring me in the face to make sure we don't go lean at any point. So where's the oil pressure and temp? I mounted them down here where the big cutout hole was for a radio, and mounted the gauges there instead. This right here is an air temp thermometer that's placed in the intake manifold in intake runner number 1. A thermocouple is placed in there, and I'm actually monitoring the air intake temps while under boost. And the reason for doing that is, well, I'm trying to see how much more performance we can get out of these cars, make sure the water injection's working and everything like that. So, as far as modifications, take a look under the hood. Well, the first thing that is staring us in the face is this Spectre cast aluminum pressure hat for the carburetor. No, it is not under pressure at the moment. It is just acting as an air cleaner. Maybe later we're gonna experiment with a little blow-through system on a turbo or on a 301. But right now I'm just using it as an air cleaner with their flexible 4-inch hose going, ignore my awesome battery mount, going into a cone filter mounted inside the fender. I'm trying to get all the cold air in that I can. So some modifications that were done to that is the water alcohol injection. Mounted the nozzle right back here into the pressure hat, and it's fogging right above the secondaries. And here's the bottle. The washer bottle is right here with the washer fluid in it, and it runs off of an adjustable pressure switch. Other modifications, got the 2.5-inch downpipe that I sell. You can see I mounted the wideband oxygen sensor for the gauge right in the downpipe. And then of course we have the mandatory manual boost controller, and it's also my billet EGR delete plate. Other than that, there's not too much else going on with it. It is still the stock turbo 350 to stock 308 rear gears. The exhaust system is my 2.5-inch exhaust. It has the 2.5-inch Y pipe. It has the 2.5-inch tail pipes with the splitter tips, the polished stainless splitter tips. No catalytic converter, no mufflers. It is all pipe. A lot of people always ask, well, how's it sound? Well, there's other videos out there that does show the exhaust, the sound of the exhaust. Why don't we just take a listen to this one real quick? Let's see if we can hear some of the turbo whistle inside. So in its current trim right now with the 14 pounds of boost, the water injection, all that stuff, the car's gone 15.0 in a quarter mile at about 94 miles an hour with a really poor 60-foot time. So we're going to see what it does on the dyno, what that equals horsepower wise to the rear wheels. Okay, I kind of want to go over a little summary here about the results and kind of give you some input and insight as to what I learned from it. First off, I kind of want to go over a little bit of a disclaimer about dyno use and so on. Every dyno is going to be different depending on the type of load cell that they use, and many different factors in there, and it's kind of hard to a lot of people get hung up on the raw number that you see. Some people might look at this video and go, oh wow, 208 horsepower, well, you got a real barn burner there. But that's not really what I'm after. It's the change in horsepower from the modifications made. That's a real number. I went from 180 horsepower to 208 by just adding 5 more psi of boost and water injection. That's a huge gain. That's a real number. That 28, 30 horsepower gain is a real number. I don't care what I started with and what I ended with. It's the fact of what was the difference. 180, whether it be 180, whether it be 250, you gain 30 horsepower from that gain is real. And that kind of just shows that there's repeatability and I'm getting consistent results with my parts and modification. Ironically, 5 years ago, I tested an 80 turbo Trans Am with prototypes of these parts before I even went into business, and I almost got identical results. It was the same dyno, and it was the same thing. 9 psi was 172 horsepower, and after putting 14 pounds in it and water injection, it went to 205. So it's almost identical results, 30 horsepower. Now, as far as, a lot of people might sit there and go, well, if you had 14 psi, what if you put 16 or what if you put 18? I don't think you're going to get there. 14 psi on a stock or even one of my upgraded turbos is probably really pushing it. I think you're starting to reach the maximum point of the turbo to where you're going to go out of the efficiency range of the turbo. Not only that, increasing beyond that 14 pounds and getting out of that efficiency, you start adding heat like very, very quickly. And heat is the number one enemy on this car, period. There's no intercooler. Yes, the water injection is helping, but we're injecting it pre-turbo, which the turbo just heats it up then eventually anyway, so it's only going to get you so far. Honestly, I wouldn't try to go, I mean, if you can get away with it, great, but I've actually had this car on the street accidentally spike 15, 16 pounds and actually start detonating with the water injection on. Other than that, appreciate you guys watching the video. Hope you enjoyed it. Hit the like button or subscribe, and I'll try to put more videos out. This is the R&D car for TTA Performance. It's not the prettiest Trans Am out there, but we're just gonna keep testing, keep trying different things. I'll keep trying to shoot more video for you, show you what we got going on, and if there's anything that you guys need or maybe something that you're looking for, feel free to reach out to us, give us a call, send us an email. Appreciate you guys out there, and thanks for watching.